Very, very happy to be eating. They've got scraps today, so tiny little fish that they eat in the wild. You can see with the little guy on the side, the way that they eat their fish is head first. So there is a reason for this. In the wild, some of the fish that they would eat have developed spines on their gills. So when they feel threatened, the fish put the spines out. And if they were to eat them tail first, those spines would catch. And it would rip their throats open. So to avoid that, they eat head first. And then the spines go flat against the fish's side and straight down into the penguin's tummy. You'll notice some of our penguins are looking a little bit dishevelled at the moment. They are going through their annual molt. So once a year they come inland and all of their feathers drop. They try and do this all at once to get it out of the way because it's not a very comfortable experience for them. They get a bit cold and they can't swim as well because they are no longer waterproof. They do this molting because throughout the year, in and out the water, in the wild as well, up against predators, up against rocks, a lot of the feathers are going to get damaged, which damages the waterproof coating that they have, which means that they could end up getting a bit too cold and unfortunately passing away. So they refresh their feathers once a year, so it'll take them a couple more weeks to have a new fresh load of feathers on, and then they'll be right as rain all over again. So that's one of the times that penguins come in from the ocean. The other time is to breed. Penguins mate for life, so they'll come in once a year, find their mate, lay an egg or two, and then we'll have a couple of chicks if we're lucky. And we are lucky, so this year we've got 2 chicks out and about. You can spot them both on the beach at the other end. They are a bit greyer than their adult counterparts. They've got much darker heads and they don't quite have any of the markings yet around the head and neck area. But they're quite sweet and they won't molt this year because it's their first year, they don't need to. So our penguins are Humboldt penguins and they come from Chile and Peru. So as I'm sure you know, that those are very hot areas. A lot of people think that penguins come from only the Antarctic, but there's only actually 2 species of penguins that come from there. The rest are mostly from subtropical areas, so they're used to hot.
Waiting for a lip scratch. He knows not to mess with the penguins.
Yeah, some of our penguins don't like to eat out of the water either. They demand Bernie feeds them by hand. They are fabulous little swimmers though when they want to be, so their flippers have developed over the years so that they are perfect rudders going through the water. Same as their tails, they have lovely short stubby tails that help them swift side to side in the water so they can very quickly avoid predators. They also have a really, really cool coat colouring. So you'll notice the back of them is black and the bottom is white. When they swim with their backs to the top. As you can see by some of the penguins at that end of the pool. If you were a predator from the sky looking down, you wouldn't be able to see the penguin up against the darkness of the ocean water and also our pond water. And if you were a predator in the ocean, say you were a leopard seal looking for a tasty treat, you would be really hard pushed to notice a penguin if you were looking up. The white belly and the little black speckles blend in with the sunlight coming through the ocean and make them near invisible.
I didn't know that.
Does anyone have any questions about our Humboldt penguins? Yeah? I think there's one that comes from Africa, but I don't think it's from Madagascar. The African little penguin. They're just not hungry. So because they're going through molt, they just don't feel quite right. They're quite grumpy. It's not a very nice experience for them. It's kind of like, imagine having a sunburn that's peeling constantly. Kind of like that, plus you're cold. Also, you'll notice some of them are a bit fatter because they put on weight for this reason, to keep them a bit warmer. But they are fine. You see Bernie's going around making sure everybody gets something if they are hungry and they just don't want to get in the water. Because a couple of the guys on the beach have molted enough now that getting in the water is really cold, so they won't go in unless they really, really have to. Do we have any other questions about these guys? No? Brilliant. Well, thank you guys all so much for attending. I'll be going over to the otters in a moment to give them some food. So please head on over there if you'd like to learn a little bit about our otters. Thanks so much.
Where are the otters?